been on a campaign tour of Greater Accra region. This is 4 of his engagements with people in the Greater Accra region. This morning we're at Pram Pram. We've gone to Pong Katamanso. We've been to Tema Central, and we are currently at Tema East, Tema New Town, and John Dramani Mahama has just arrived. But before we take you to the mini Deba grounds, I want to have a brief conversation with the spokesperson for the John Mahama 2024 campaign, Joyce Bawa Muktari. Many of you know her. I don't need further introduction. How has the campaign been so far?
Well, good evening, Eric. I'm sure you've been with us all through the day. You know, this morning started on a very, very positive note, and I believe that the day has actually played out beautifully. This is phase 4, and to be very honest with you, I think that Greater Accra is certainly green. You know, we've done a lot of work in this region. We enjoy enormous support in both the parliamentary and the presidential. I have no doubt in my mind that, judging by what we saw in Ningo Pram Pram, all the way down to Tema Central and now to Tema East, one thing resonates with me, that the message actually is going home to the good people of Ghana, and that everybody currently knows that the best alternative is the National Democratic Congress. The most experienced man for the job is John Dramani Mahama. And so, like everybody else in Ghana, we are all in huge anticipation of December 7th and, of course, the outcome of that election. You know, there's a message of hope, talking about fixing the economy, talking about fixing corruption, talking about fixing the governance situation that we have, talking about fixing the unemployment situation in particular, talking about fixing matters to do with galamsey, and of course the destruction of our forest bodies and water bodies in particular. This is a matter that I believe is on the heart of many Ghanaians as we face an existential threat. And so naturally, John Mahama, on the event of assumption of office, will need the complement of members of parliament to support him in all the efforts he'll be making to build the Ghana that all of us can be proud of. So he's actually working very hard, not just for the presidential and for his running mates, but also for the members of parliament or parliamentary candidates, as we all know them. You know that in the course of the week also, the Electoral Commission has also come under enormous pressure, as our party has continued to exercise their rights within CI 197 to be sure that the voter register is actually going to be exhibited, that the register will be a clean one, and that the register is one that will meet all of the requirements of the national election that we are all looking forward to.
So are you surprised at the turnout? Because it's almost 9 o'clock, and it will look like many young people who don't care waiting for hours till his arrival. And if you look at how he's received, does it satisfy your expectations?
Look, Eric, let me tell you one thing, that when you look at the statistics in terms of the data that we have, persons within the ages of 18 and 35 are all with the NDC and with John Dramani Mahama. When you look at the women's vote, women constitute about 51.7% of our population. 45.6% of them are also with the National Democratic Congress. So you do know that this is an election that will be driven and powered by women and largely young people. Remember that when we launched the Youth Manifesto, it was led, driven, empowered by young people. And you remember that the message was actually very, very potent in terms of job creation.
John Mahama will be speaking briefly, but I just want us, something significant happened in Parliament today. The Speaker ruled, and as we speak, the NDC is now the majority in Parliament. 3 NPP seats have been declared vacant. How significant is this for the NDC as a party and for John Mahama as a candidate?
Unprecedented, unparalleled, historic. So it appears as if we are actually speaking in opposition but in control of Parliament. I think that God works indeed in the affairs of men. You know, let me tell you something, that even as far back as 2020, many Ghanaians were of the view that the NDC should have been in charge of Parliament. But as you well know, they were playing with all the numbers and semantics and all of that. Look, I have no doubt in my mind that justice and fairness will continue to prevail. You know, remember that in 2016, John Mahama was largely the subject of deep propaganda because we had a very fierce opponent, and one who continues unrelentingly to disrespect the good people of Ghana, to act with such impunity. Look, let me tell you one thing. Akufo-Addo is not on the ballot in the coming election, but he acts as if this election is all about him, Akufo-Addo, and not about his successor. So make no mistake, the fact that we are actually currently reigning majority in parliament tells you one thing, that the good people of Ghana are wide awake, that this time the lies, the falsehoods, all the jingoistic talk is actually amounting to absolutely nothing. President Akufo-Addo will be advised to keep his peace and keep his silence and exit just as he entered. That Ghana is a democratic country. We intend to respect the constitution, respect our democratic institutions. There's a good reason why there's a virtue of separation of powers. And tonight you've seen how that actual aspect of the constitution works in the interest of our democracy. I believe that we should commend Speaker Bagbin for doing what is fair, what is just, and what is constitutional. And so to the NDC, I say you've done a great job. Let's move forward, working very hard and leaving no stone unturned. Let's be sure to campaign like no man's business. Work very hard until we indeed rescue Ghana from these wicked leaders that we have.
Now, before you take leave of us, and briefly, the MP for Efutu, who will now be the minority leader, is threatening to go to court. They say their side will continue to boycott Parliament till the Supreme Court interprets the Constitution because the Speaker can't do it. Is it a surprise? As a lawyer, how do you take it?
You know, look, it is within their right so to do. It is actually their constitutional right so to do. It is actually within their purview and remit so to do. But I do know that the most important thing is that tonight there's a landmark ruling, a benchmark for our democracy, and this is something that all of us must actually be enormously proud of and work very hard to sustain. I have no doubt that the majority is working very, very hard. You can tell that they've taken position already. So who cares what the minority now wants to do? That is their business. I believe that they ought to respect the Constitution, they ought to respect the separation of powers, they also ought to respect the interests largely of the populace, that is the good people of Ghana. I believe that Speaker Bagbin has ruled. When Michael Kwe did something similar a few years ago, you know, nothing moved, we continued.
Now, so let's look at the messages. Today, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama took advantage of this campaign to respond directly to Nana Akufo-Addo on his call for a debate, and to the issue about Galamsey, that Mahama must come clean. How Mahama has responded. Of course, you speak for him, and this is an opportune time for me to hear further commentary on how President Mahama saw the statement he made.
I think those were utterly, totally disrespectful. And like I said, Akufo-Addo is not on the ballot. I'm sure the campaign is Bawumia's campaign, it's the MPP's campaign. But you can tell that all the time it is Nana-Addo that continues to, you know, throw these pot shots at John Dramani Mahama. You know, look, our boss is a really decent man. And like he said, he knows his level. Indeed, a few years ago, when the shoe was on the other foot, Akufo-Addo refused to debate John Mahama. I remember the debates in 2012, for example, where Mahama debated Akufo-Addo and won that debate. He expressed his vision for senior high school in particular and carried the day and carried the election. You know, look, they have always abused our constitution. And today I'm delighted that John Mahama took the time to respond adequately to President Akufo-Addo. Secondly, he will not be invited to any debate. In any case, Nana-Addo did not debate in 2016. He did not debate in 2020. The F didn't move. There was nothing that changed. Indeed, he went on to win both elections. So why not? I have known that there's actually nothing to debate. Look, momentum is on the side of the National Democratic Congress. God is actually working on the side of the National Democratic Congress. The good people of Ghana are working on the side of the National Democratic Congress. Indeed, look at all the key facets of our lives. There's so much hardship. Even food is so expensive that families cannot. Today I was talking to a very young lady this afternoon. She told me that the whole day she had not eaten because the wares that she was selling, nobody had actually been able to buy anything. And that is how bad this economy is. Second, look at the rate of inflation. The dollar is currently selling at what? 17 cedis to a dollar. Look, Ghanaians are suffering. There's so much going on. Look at the state of our roads. We were in Pram Pram today. Ask yourself, what exactly is it that the MPP wants to continue to be in power for? Mr. Mahama has stated categorically that he is coming into office to work in the interest of the good people of Ghana. He will cut the reckless spending and reckless borrowing. He will ensure that he continues to invest in our infrastructure. Indeed, he will complete all the abandoned projects and be sure that all these projects are put to work for the good people of Ghana. In terms of unemployment, it is at the highest now and constitutes a big threat to our security even. So what is it he intends to do? He intends to introduce the 24-hour economic policy. It is a message that resonates across board with the length and generality of the good people of Ghana. In terms of messaging on the economy, on health, on infrastructure, on roads, on transportation, there is no doubt that Mahama, the nation builder, set a fantastic example, and I'm sure that when he comes into office on December 7th, he will hit the ground running. There will be no plagiarized speeches, there will be no plagiarism, there will be no attempts to pretend to do things you cannot do, there will be no jingoism or jingoistic highfalutin empty statements. Mr. Mahama intends to work realistically in the interest of the good people of Ghana.
Now, when I watch the responses whenever he speaks, it will tell you that he's directly addressing the expectations of the masses who have been out listening to him. But today, when he spoke, he used two words: a sleeping president, and again, Bawumia cannot use him to elevate himself. Now, do you see those gestures thrown by the MPP, i.e. Bawumia or Akufo-Addo, as diversionary tactics, or John Mahama is now speaking directly to them the language they need to hear?
Well, you see, look, let me say once that John Mahama is a seasoned politician, and like he said, he knows his level. And apart from that, other versions of the song, that it is not now that he started on this journey. So he understands the game and he understands the politics of the day, and he knows exactly what Akufo-Addo is trying. But let me tell you something. We have our research. Akufo-Addo is no longer as popular nor as credible. People really don't care what he thinks anymore, because on everything that he pledged to do, he has completely failed. He's struggling very hard to secure a legacy that is non-existent. The battle has moved on to other places. Nobody listens to Akufo-Addo anymore. And the earlier he realized that he's become a lame duck president, the better for him. You see, look, karma is indeed a bitch. Akufo-Addo was really, really disrespectful of John Dramani Mahama, his predecessor. And God intends to teach him a lesson. And is using John Mahama and the good people of Ghana to teach him that lesson. I believe that he should eat a lesson in humility, relax very quietly, pending his final few weeks in office. I think that will serve a useful purpose. I don't think that even the statements that he makes really resonate with anybody. They're not even helping his MPP campaign in any way. And I believe that it is time for him to take a very close look at his pronouncements and the example that he's leaving. In terms of a legacy, it will be a failed legacy of broken promises and nothing more.
Thank you very much, Joyce. I'll be with you another time. And so we are crossing over to the mini debate ground here at Tema Newtown to listen to John Dramani Mahama, who is currently on the floor.
Secondary schools. Now say Ebanesa, Sadiana, your friend no double track system no. I hear traffic light no. You be use a double track no. You be use for. As near Tosun 9, near a year final and it said Maka Esiso Maka and pray mean to be kind pray say Maka says NDC bar private schools no yet the Umbeka free SHS no. If it said private schools no Oko Ekresibia school a woho a private school abang any school and so because you did free SHS aba and kwadani na eja private school no omu nyina akwa ban school and so anka the private school no eka free SHS no so anka kwadani bi ebe ko private school no enti se epese kwan bamu na yenya kwan se ne be ya yemani na benya school ni bi akwa and you see the private schools so here dey ye dey omoka free SHS program no enti aka says NDC bar private schools a wo no omo a omo se fata see e dey omoka free SHS no ye dey ombeka ho send a beya, Yanquadano, Ebenya Quine, Etimiako school nibi. As Minuano Tema a cross roko na Tema a your first president the vision and or the year Tema is supposed to be the industrial heartbeat of Ghana. Eti Obesi Habo or the Batema NOC Habono. Obesi Valco aluminium smelter or the Batema. Obesi refinery. Amayetimi Aka Frango Ayedi Ye Nanya petrol Eguyakamu or the Batema. Obesi dry dock or the Kohe or the Batema. Enti Ushatema, it is our industrial heartbeat. And once Tema was a glorious town. Mekaisa Misha na ya yete akra yetimi tuka eba Tema ebi se na kroni efe na krono swenge enti die na ye wa akra ye ba ha ebe sra ya namfofo enso emre twemu no Tema ahwe ase e wo se yesa peja Tema ejina na naso ezu Tema wonyoma bebrea krobie ni wo Ghana ha Tema ye kroba kwa ewo underground sewage system I say ensuofin bia efri bebia efamu eko for treatment plants sa sewage system na say e was yes no say na be Tema didn't to my public ezu eza and then one Tema kwan so a Unka said this is the industrial city of Ghana akwan ni na say meanwhile MPP aban say omo ye 12,000 kilometers of roads ezu anka 12,000 kilometers of roads and moya anka at least monfa kakra mra Tema me hu kwan foforo bia wo ha woko industrial area ho a eya reho wo fato enim ene industrial area akwan ni nyina asay ezu eso Tema fo ma mpaba NDC aban eba NDC be pija Tema jina na nasu biom NDC ebesiese Tema kwan sene be ya oba obehu se ampa. This is the industrial heartbeat of Ghana. Now the frontier was here yes near peja Tema and they say 24-hour economy policy a yede bano ebe sha se e wo Tema because this is where the manufacturing capacity is. Yene business owners e wo Tema betna se ne bi so mo den na ban betimi aye aboamu na mo etimi aye ejuma anopa ni anaju nyina na bibi ombeke bia ye bebo omo ombeka se o mumbo ye ho ban na armed robbers ebetiti ya na so betiti ejuma yefo ye befa police for aka ho na Tema ha bebia omo nenam bebia se na be ya Senebe ya ombe boy ho ban. Ombe ka say electricity ni board en dodo. Yesi yo mo ye djuma na jo a ye beti electricity no boso so that mo betimi aye mo djuma. Yesi o abanji ye to dodo ye beti to no so senebe ya ebe she o mu kran no mo etimi aye edjuma na jo. Na so mo ye djuma anopa ni anajo a nyame adom ti ye mabu na e Tema ha nyina nyame adom ye befa mu aka ho se ne be ya musum benya adwuma ni biaye ezu eza eti adia samen kasa bebre menim say 7th December Ghanaians are going to make a change because Ghana deserves better. The 8 years have been 8 years of impunity, 8 years of arrogance, 8 years of corruption, 8 years of mismanagement. Within 8 years, economy ani etimi hwe ho, economy ani etimi tua yeka, economy anabibia ekoso no. Enkrofo kakra bi afasa economy no egu no. Ezu enso nyomwedi no eye. Nyomwedi no eye. Omo sorry free so na ne aka no yembo ho ban. Ezu enso nyomwedi no ya mo omo mfa nkosa o. Yebedi omo echi na Ghana fosika obi ewia no yebeje ya de ni asa abede abema Ghana fo. Ezu enyemi me be touch your elephant. Sure ni ba mami eba fite wo nofia no be ake wo ba hwele neya jami allo Ezu gawie mo modi fio ni take pon kazama so enke ake be ake wo hwe shon ne te gomi jami ne te jami si lake nyumodromo hewo shiki ni wo ba fon 7 December nyumodromo hewo NDC baye kuni ye nakashiki fomo mi Ezu elake ni be shake oba for shiki ake shika baba ake ba laka o koni wo for shiki o ha me shi agbene echu ni ejake nakashika wo fe wononi ewo ka keba mini nyeba fe nyeba he nye fe mini ni nye shi ke wote niwaya for shiki sani wo fon wo ha nokwale nji NDC ni baba ni ba wawon NDC ni baba ni tema afi tema eko mindanyeshi I'm ready to do a ballot paper no say ena ebeba no NDC eda number 8 basena mekan no mamu hwe number 8 no modie ne wasa mo hwehwe ene akatawia no mo hwehwe akatawia no na modemonsa etim akatawia no nchen me hwehwe obi abe pointi akatawia na mame come oh no women's organizer, you're a women's organizer. I called a girl, there's a girl there. Ezu, listen to the instruction. Use this finger and point at the umbrella on this sheet. Umbrella. Ezu. Okay, she's right for 5 points. This is the umbrella, and this is where you put your thumbprint. This is the umbrella, this is where you put your thumbprint. And so you put your thumbprint on the umbrella sideways, not like this, like this. Because if you put it like this, it might cross one of the lines. If it crosses the line, your ballot is rejected. So you put it sideways. And then as soon as you thumbprint it, take the tissue or the rag that is there and clean your thumb until it's dry. When you finish cleaning your thumb, take the ballot paper and then you can now fold it and go and put it in the ballot box. So when you thumbprint the ballot paper, it will be something like this. The ballot paper will be something like this. So when they give to you and you enter the booth, you put it on the table. Then you see the small round ink pad. So you take your thumb, you put it on, and then you thumbprint by the Akatawia. When you thumbprint, don't touch the ballot paper. Take the rag, clean your hand well before you take the ballot paper again. And then you fold it like this. The reason is, if you don't clean your thumb and there's still ink on your thumb and you take the ballot paper, your thumb will make another thumbprint at another place of the ballot paper. If they see two thumbprints, it becomes a rejected ballot. So listen carefully. After you thumbprint, clean your thumb well before you take the ballot paper, and then you fold it lengthwise like this. And then when you fold it, you can fold it again and go and put it in the ballot box. After you've done that, they'll give you a second ballot paper. That ballot paper is the ballot paper for the wonder boy who is standing next to me. The wonder boy who is standing here next to me. You have to vote for him so that we will go and work together for you. I put out a 120-day program showing the things that we're going to do within 120 days when we come into office. And one of it has to do with taxes. I know Tema is suffering because of the high taxes we have to pay. So e-levy is going, COVID levy is going, betting tax is going, emissions levy is going. E-levy, away. COVID levy, away. 10% betting tax, away. Emissions levy, away. So that we ease the tax burden on Ghanaians. Because of the taxes, Ghana is becoming an unfavorable destination for business. When people want to bring their money to invest in West Africa, when they look at our taxes and they look at Cote d'Ivoire's taxes, then they go to Cote d'Ivoire instead of coming to Ghana. Because they say our taxes are too high. So you have to give me a Ashao Damte so that I can go and work with him. By the grace of God, NDC is going to win the election. And inshallah, if NDC wins, JD Mahama JM is going to be the president of Ghana. And by the grace of God, if I become the president of Ghana, Tema East, I don't want you to bring any baby elephant to come and follow me. No baby elephant to come and follow me. Asha Odamte Wale Nichumo. FADC da. Ni wafe wana enichumo. Neighbor fe MP hu. He is a very respectful, very humble, very caring member of parliament. And I know that you people are going to return him to us so that we can work with him. And so when you vote for JM for the presidential ballot, you take your parliamentary ballot, just look for the Akatawia. His picture will be there, and you put your thumbprint and you vote for Honorable Ashia Odamtin.
So John Dramani Mahama has just introduced the parliamentary candidate for Tema East, the former PC of Damte.
Honorable Ashia Odamtin.
And so that's how John Mahama introduced the MP parliamentary candidate for Tema East. And that is what is wrapping up the campaign toward the Phase 4 of Greater Accra Region. Tomorrow, he's continuing the tour of Greater Accra Region. And I know among the constituency we visit will be Lejokuku and then Kole Klote. And so let's meet tomorrow and follow his engagement with the people of Greater Accra. Good night.